Hi dear students, today we are going to learn about the transition state and intermediates. Before that we must know about the few things. Now the first thing is that most of the organic reactions are one or two step reactions. However, the reactants do not directly converted into the products. And the third one is the chemical reactions are assumed to be continuous process which involving gradual change while converting reactant to the products. So before going to the one step and two step reaction, we must know about the what is transition state and what is intermediates. So the intermediates are short-lived charged or uncharged species having a definite molecular structure and shape, while the transition states are the unstable combination of reactants which does not have definite molecular shape and structures. So the basic difference between between these two terms is that this is having a definite shape and this does not have a definite shape. It means it is a stable one and it is an unstable one. It requires high energy, it is a less energy species. So this is the basic difference between these two terms, transition state and the intermediate state. Now let us consider the reactions having one step reactions. So in one step reactions, generally reactants are changes into the transition state and then converted into the products. So let us consider the example of hydrolysis of this alkyl bromide. When this hydroxyl ion attacks on this methyl carbon, the bromine gets depart with the pair of electrons. Now, while this attacking of this nucleophile on this carbon, there is a partial bond formation between this hydroxyl oxygen and the carbon. Simultaneously, there is a bond cleavage is there between the carbon and the bromine. So this is also partial delta negative charge. This is partial delta negative charge. These bonds are partial bonds. Now this structure is unstable. Why it is unstable? Because carbon having valency 5. Let us see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Thus it is unstable, so therefore it belongs to the transition state. It does not have any molecular shape structure, so it is unstable and it collapses immediately. Because it is unstable, it collapses into the corresponding this alcohol, that is methanol. Similarly, in case of two-step reactions, in the first step reactions, the reactants are converted into the intermediates via transition state first, and these intermediates in the second stage, these intermediates are converted into the product through transition state 2. So as the number of step increases, the number of transition state also increases while there is one intermediate. So if the reactions has two transition state, one intermediate is there. If the reaction having three steps, then it has three transition state and two intermediates. Similarly, if the reaction has 10 steps, then it has a 10 transition state and total number of intermediates are 9. So in this way we can calculate the number of steps and number of transition state and number of steps in the particular reaction depending upon the number of steps. So let us consider the example for the two-step reactions. So this is the hydrolysis of alkyl halide, but this is the tertiary butyl alkyl halide, butyl bromide. So which on hydrolysis, in the first stage that bromine molecules depart with itself, because bromine is a good living group. So it departs itself and it forms this intermediate via this transition state. So this transition state represents there is a partial bond cleavage between this carbon and this Br. So this is a partial bond cleavage, partial positive charge, partial delta negative charge. So it collapses into the particular intermediate. This is a carbocation. This is a carbocation. And this is nothing but the tertiary carbocation. It is a more stable carbocation. That's why this transition state collapses into this intermediate. So as I said, the transition states are less stable, so that they are easily collapsed into the corresponding products. So this is a intermediate for the state. Now in the second step, that intermediate is attacked by the nucleophile. Now in this case the nucleophile is hydroxyl. It can easily attack on this particular carbocation. It forms again this a transition state. Now in this case there is a bond formation between the hydroxyl, oxygen and the carbon, while in the previous transition state there is a bond cleavage between the carbon and bromine. Now here it is the bond formation between the carbon and hydroxyl group. So again it is a partial delta positive, partial delta negative charge. Now this again this is a transition state 2. This is TS2. So this transition state collapse into the particular product. Now in this way we can easily identify the transition state and the intermediate present in the reaction. Now the next topic is nucleophilicity and basicity. Since most of the organic compounds are electron rich, and due to this they have donor availability. So to this capacity, donor availability capacity, they are classified into two different types, that is nucleophile and the bases. The nucleophiles are totally depends upon their nucleophilicity character, while the base are totally depends upon their basicity characters. Let us consider how we can define the nucleophile and bases, because both are negatively charged and electron rich neutral species. Negatively charged or electron rich neutral species. So both having the same characteristic, but their reactivities, chemical reactivity is different. So how it is different? Let us consider an example. Suppose this is a negatively charged species which attacks on this alkyl bromide. So this carbon is electrophilic center, that B minus will easily attack on this, and that particular bromine atom eliminates or departs itself with the pair of electrons. So it forms this particular B minus ion forms bond with the carbon. So this is a new product. And similarly, if this B minus is reacted with this HBr, it abstracts this H plus ion and it eliminates this Br minus like this, Br minus and plus Hb. So in these two examples, the species which having same characteristic but the reactivity is different. In this case, this B minus attack on this carbon atom. In this case, the B minus attacks on the carbon atom. It becomes a nucleophile. So it becomes nucleophile. While the species which abstract the protons or H plus ion, or which donates electron to the H plus ion, known as base. So the any kind of negatively charged species has different types of characteristics. Depending upon the chemical reactivity, it can be classified or as a nucleophile or as a base. So in this case, this B minus attacks on the carbon other than hydrogen is known as nucleophile, while this B minus abstract the proton or donate electron pair to H plus ion to form this Hb becomes a base. So the nucleophiles are the species which is electron rich or negatively charged, or they may be nucleus loving species. When they attacks other than hydrogen to form bond, known as nucleophiles. Base are the species which accepts proton or donates electron pair to H plus ion, known as a bases. So examples for these two is, this is OH minus, also base or nucleophile depending upon the reactivity. This ammonia also act as a, this water molecule also act as a nucleophile or base. So what is nucleophilicity and basicity? So nucleophilicity is the strength of base, strength of nucleophile. It is the strength of nucleophile, how it react fast, to form a bond. So the nucleophilicity is the strength of nucleophile, how it react fast to form bond. So it is related with the kinetic rate. So the nucleophilicity totally depends upon the rate of nucleophile. So as if two nucleophiles are there, one is react slowly and one react is fast. The nucleophile which is react fast become a stronger nucleophile, and which is react less slowly, that is a weak nucleophile. So it does not depends upon the stability of the nucleophile, because it is a kinetic term. It depends upon only the rate of. So similarly, basicity is the extent to which accept the protons. To which accept the protons, as the basicity is related with the extent to which accept the protons, means the species which having more electron density that can accept more number of protons. So it depends upon its electron availability of electron density. As the electron density is more, the basicity is also more, or it increases. So basicity is related with the electron density, availability of electron density on that particular molecules. So this is the basic difference between this nucleophilicity and the basicity. Once again, the nucleophilicity is the strength of nucleophile, how it react fast. It is reacted with the rate. Now basicity is the extent to which accept the protons, and now it is related with the electron density. So basicity is the thermodynamic terms, while the nucleophilicity is a kinetic terms. It is a kinetic term, and this is a thermodynamic term. Thermodynamic term. Why it is thermodynamic term? Because it depends upon the Kp value, pKb value. So as the pKb is smaller, then base is stronger, and vice versa. Means pKb, if pKb is higher value, then the base is weak. If pKb value is high, then the base is become weak. So this is the nucleophilicity and basicity. Now most of the organic compounds considered as a nucleophile as well as base, and all nucleophiles are considered as a Lewis base according to the Lewis concept. What it says? Lewis says that any species, if it is donate electron pair to and forms a chemical bond, then it is known as a Lewis base. Similarly, this B minus donates electron to this carbon and forms a chemical bond, so the B minus acts as a Lewis nucleophile. Here it is B donates electron pair to H plus ion, forms a bond between H and B, so it is also Lewis base. So according to the Lewis concept, nucleophiles acts as a Lewis base. So the base are of two types. Base are of two types. The first one is a nucleophilic base, and the second one is a non-nucleophilic base. So what is the difference between these two terms? The nucleophilic base means the base which can act as a nucleophile as well as a base, while the non-nucleophilic bases are the base which acts only base. They do not act as a nucleophile. They will never act as a nucleophile. They act as only the base. So what are the examples? Suppose this example hydroxide ion. If you consider this hydroxide ion, it can act as a nucleophile as well as base. While this LDA is nothing but the lithium diisopropyl aluminum, which is a base which acts as only base, which never acts as a nucleophile, so it classified as a non-nucleophiles. So how we can decide non-nucleophile base and nucleophile base? So the non-nucleophile base is decided on the factor that is the steric hindrance. Non-nucleophile and nucleophile bases are classified on the basis of steric hindrance. If you look at this hydroxide ion, it is a less steric hindrance, while if you look at this N ammonium ion, so it is highly crowded. So it is not easy to donate electron pair to abstract on the carbon atom other than hydrogen atom. So it is not easily available for the donation of electron to other than hydrogen. So due to steric hindrance, this particular molecule never acts as a nucleophile. It acts as a base. While in this case, this electron negatively charged species is not crowded. It is a less steric hindrance, so it can act as a nucleophile as well as base. Let us consider another example. Suppose if you consider this CH3O minus methoxide, CH3CH2 O minus, this is ethoxide, CH3CaHO minus isopropyl oxide. So and this is tertiary butoxide. So CH3CH3 and this O minus. if you look at this from methoxide to this tertiary butoxide, the electron density on the oxygen atom is going to be increased because methyl groups or alkyl groups are slightly electron donors. They increases the electron density. As I earlier said, the basicity is totally depends upon the electron density. As the electron density increases, basicity also increases. Basicity also increases. While if you look at this oxygen O minus ion, here it is only CH3 is there, methyl is there, ethyl is there, this isopropyl group is there, and this is tertiary butyl group is there. So from top to bottom, if you look at this O minus, it is going to be crowded. The steric hindrance is going to be increases. So due to this, the nucleophilicity is decreases. So nucleophilicity is decreases from top to bottom. Steric hindrance increases, nucleophilicity is decreases. From top to bottom, from this methoxide to tertiary butoxide, the steric hindrance is increases. So due to this, nucleophilicity is decreases. While basicity does not depends upon the steric hindrance. As the steric hindrance increases or decreases, basicity depends upon only the electron density. As electron density increases, basic character basicity of that particular substance molecule is going to be increases. While in short, we can consider as basicity is directly proportional to electron density. So in short, we can consider that basicity is directly proportional to electron density. While the nucleophilicity is inversely proportional to steric hindrance. Is inversely proportional to the. If you remember these two terms, in short, basicity is directly proportional to electron density, and nucleophilicity is inversely proportional to the steric hindrance. Then you can easily find out which is more nucleophile, which can act as a nucleophile, which can act as a base. The next topic is electrophilicity and acidity. As earlier we seen that nucleophilicity and basicity. Similarly, we can see the electrophilicity and acidity. Same again, the most of the organic compounds are electron deficient due to they have ability to accept the pair of electrons. On the basis of this availability, the organic molecules are classified into two different types, that is electrophiles and acids. So electrophiles are nothing but the positively charged species. They are positively charged species which accept the pair of electrons. Similarly, acids are the compound which donates H plus ion or accept pair of electrons. So if you look at this, electrophiles and acid both are the species which totally depends upon the to accept the pair of electrons. So both are having same term, that they accept the pair of electrons. So electrophiles are totally depends upon or they express in terms of their electrophilicity, while acids are expressed in terms of their acidity. So electrophilicity is nothing but the rate at which an acid forms a bond with substrate. An acid forms a bond with the substrate, while acidity is expressed into acidity is the extent to which a molecule loses proton. A molecule loses a proton. Since the electrophilicity is the rate at which at which an acid forms a bond with the substrate, while the acidity is the extent to which the molecule or moiety loses protons. Now, acidity, as we define the acidity is the extent to which it loses proton. Now consider an example. This HA is dissociated into water molecule, it gives corresponding cations and anions or corresponding ionic species H plus and A minus ion. So the acidity, it depends upon their absolute value. Because it is absolute, it depends upon their Ka and pKa values. If the pKa value is higher, if pKa value is higher, then weak acid is there. Then the particular species is weak. If pKa value is lower, then a strong acid is there. So the acidity is the thermodynamic terms because it depends upon the Ka and pKa value. As lower pKa value means the equilibrium shifts to the right hand side, and higher pKa value means equilibrium shifts to the left hand side. Due to this particular moiety, particular species belongs to the thermodynamic term. Now let us consider the electrophilicity. What is electrophilicity? So electricity, as we said, that electricity is nothing but the rate at which an acid forms a bond with the substrate. So consider this is a substrate and this is the Lewis acid according to the Lewis concept. So that particular substrate donates electron according to the electrophilicity, an acid which accepts the protons. So this is an acid which is going to be accept the protons and forms this particular charge species. After that, it loses like that and becomes electrophile. So this is more electrophilic in nature. If you look at this, electrophilicity of this alkyl group is increases at the end of the reaction because of this Lewis acid. According to the electrophilicity concept, and electrophilicity is the rate at which an acid accepts the electron. The rate at which acid accepts the proton. So means how fast acid accepts the electron, how slow accept the electron. Similarly, this is another examples. If you look at this particular moiety absorbs the H plus ion and forms this particular cation, oxycation ion. So that oxycation ion, after resonating, it gives this particular alcohol molecule. And it becomes a positive charge species. Okay. So if you look at this, the electrophilic character of this carbonyl carbon at the end of reaction is going to be increases due to this proton acid. So electricity, we can define the electricity. Electrophilicity is the rate at which an acid, this acid again it is a Lewis acid according to the Lewis concept, it accepts a proton, the rate at which it accepts a proton to form a bond with the species. So it forms a bond with this species and become, you can see here this electrophilic character is increased as compared to this carbon compound.